Hi guys, this is going to be an art channeled message, a general one, a collective one, where all signs, everyone is welcome. I'm going to be doing this in two different ways, where it's like collective or overall message, everyone's welcome, as in all signs can be here, or it'll be I do each sign, spend like 5-10 minutes on them, and then go to the next and put timestamps. I'm probably going to test out both, so just want to tell you what's going on. So, I really hope my messages inspire you to see the art within yourself, within your journey. I channel messages through art, channel through all that good stuff, because we all start from zero, which is just a blank canvas, or the Fool's Journey. Personal readings down below, and lastly, there's no rules here, so if the spine suit's definitely meant for you. What's special about my messages is it's like one big optical illusion, or one big canvas, speak in an art form. Sometimes the cards reflect, and they serve as a confirmation rather than the reading itself. Just so many things to behold here. It's like, what do you see as I'm describing it as well? That matters as well. And before we start, this happened the way it did because I was sort of getting interrupted and I was already shuffling. I actually used to set up the cards this way back when my channel was like still in its beginning stages. So it's like these are the cards that came out. And yeah, what I started drawing for you was a newborn baby wrapped in a blanket and tucked all the way in. Do you like when a baby's like tucked all the way in a blanket and it looks cozy? It's exactly how Harry Potter started, except he was left on someone's doorstep because his parents were killed. He was technically homeless, he was technically an orphan, he was technically, it's like they were trying to find a place for him. I just heard born special, born famous. I'm getting Nepo baby. I think that's what it's called, where a child is famous or gains success and notoriety only because their parent is famous. That's how they got their career. Or you could say it's a form of privilege. I'll get into that shortly. I'm also getting something very sad about this. It's like you feel like you were only born to suffer. Like, what's the point? You were born into, or should I say, we all are technically born into circumstances out of our control, good or bad. I'm getting as well a target. Something makes you a target. Harry's scar sort of symbolizes a birthmark / curse that he carries with him. Similar to how people say it's like a generational curse, or you can carry your trauma in the womb. I'm seeing this as holding a baby, or the womb area, the chest area. Could also represent nursing. So you're carrying it in the womb. That could manifest as having stomach problems, anxiety, etc. That kind of thing. I'm getting that many of you, some of you, were born into the system, lost a parent, or just had to grow up with a piece of you missing, feeling like a piece of you is not there, feeling like something doesn't add up. And it's as if only just now is your life finally starting to make some sense. My second drawing I channeled was like a box, a gift box, kind of like a bow, which I've found really weird because I'm hearing children as a gift. Babies are a gift from God. That's a saying that you've probably already heard already. It's like you are a gift to this world. Ever since you were born, you were destined for something. It was written out. It's gonna happen regardless. It's like it's already set in stone, so it's like can't change it, so there's nothing to fret over. Does that make sense? It's like there's a plan for you. I'm also saying that as satire. That is it's like an oxymoron once again. Because a lot of people, it's a common misconception, bigger picture already, is it's like struggle, suffering is seen as this currency where you take it in, like you have to go through this initiation to earn or get what you want. seeing this as possessing, just simply getting what you want, or having the privilege to obtain something. As a side note, I'm getting, if you're struggling to conceive, so this is what goes through your mind as well. Like, why are horrible people allowed to be parents? Or why are there so many innocent beings being born into or having to break some kind of like generational curse or trauma, and they just got here? It's like this baby holds all of the answers, or like Harry, you could see it as, that's a lot of pressure. It's like 10 of Wands, it's all in his back. It's like now he's a target. Now he's the next one in line from his generation. Now he has to save the day. He was still young, going through all this stuff. That's weird to think from a literal standpoint. I'm getting as well taking the brunt of who came before you, as if you're being punished for what maybe your before ancestors did, past generations, past karma, what do they call that? Karmic debt. I'm also getting, you will serve as the wrath of what was done to prior generations. Like their suffering. Also reminds me too of how Harry's parents were simply done wrong. So it's like there's going to be a wrath for that. Almost feels like payback. I'm going to try to word this the correct way. I'm also seeing this from a race standpoint. Back when like race, like it still occurs, but back when things happened with, from a race standpoint, people were judged based on how they looked. Something about getting justice for that. It's like serving as the wrath to what happened to them. To start off, I'm getting something here about like, first of all, like mother. I was surprised when this came out. Something about like a foster mother, or you were adopted by the opposite race. Either you were white and you had a different race of a parent, or you were black and you had a white parent. Thinking something from like just a genetic standpoint, like maybe your eyes, your hair, your talents, your gifts. It's like you don't know where they came from. There's that missing puzzle piece. Something about going to the past, wanting to know. It's like something is not clear. We've been getting. Do you know how they say with maybe trauma, kids, adults too? It's like sometimes your brain completely shuts off or blocks you from remembering certain things to protect you. Something about a mother. And even that struggling to conceive thing again, someone struggling with fertility, or thinking like there's something here about like thinking you were cursed. Like there it is again, like being punished, like, oh, now you can't have a kid. But that's not true either. Maybe like several tries, or maybe even like a miscarriage. I don't really like channeling health concerns. But maybe like there's a chance. I'm also getting to like everything you didn't have, or everything you feel like you lost. You feel like you're owed. But you're not owed that because you had to suffer. It's like you want that 10 times more because you don't think any child, or you don't think anyone else should have to go through it. For example, it's like you felt like you never had a stable home. That could be literally or metaphorically, like always the baby, always going from home to home. It's kind of like when you give a gift to someone, it's either you accept or deny. It's like, oh, do you want me? Do you want this baby? Do you want them? It's like, who wants me? That's what's so sad about this. And maybe you could have had a home, but never felt like you fit in, never felt like you truly were able to make a place a home. Maybe you didn't have a childhood. You want to give someone a childhood. You want to be a mom. A lot of you are going to be great parents. And this is where, tap into this side. I really want to say this in the correct manner. I'm seeing this as, first thing I heard was spoon-fed. Spoon-fed. I'm also seeing this as an offering, like who wants this child, who's going to be giving this gift, this blessing. If I'm so special, why do I have to suffer? Does that make sense? It's like we're all told, oh, you have all these great qualities, you're so special. You were born to give the world this light. Okay, but who's going to give me light? I have so much to give the world, but that's not the point. The point is, who's going to give me a break? Literally a break. I'm getting like back pain, trauma that's carried in the womb. It's like you came into this world and you already had all this baggage, or so you thought. Because that's a common misconception. It's like you have to suffer to earn, it's like currency. This is your door to a happy ending. No. I often think of that as well. I'm seeing this as privilege. Also hearing, that's just how I'm seeing it. Hearing white privilege, but I'm only seeing this from a standpoint as like, those are the kinds of people that are like willfully ignorant to their circumstances, or maybe the past history, trying to say, oh, that never happened, or you know what I mean? Like, trying to act like there's some kind of white savior. And as a white person, that really makes me mad. It's like I'm seeing this as just not it. I'm also seeing like ignorant to privilege. And privilege isn't always having a mansion or being a Nepo baby, like being born to a celebrity. That's top-notch privilege. Privilege is different to everybody's circumstances. To some people, privilege is being able to eat every day. To others, privilege is having health care. To others, privilege is having somewhere to sleep at night, having shelter. That's how I'm seeing with my drawing. The baby was folded up. The baby was warm. They don't have to worry about that. And I often think of this myself. Like, technically, I could consider myself privileged from a financial standpoint. But I'm not ignorant to that. I often go back and forth, like, how is it fair that a basic human need is considered privilege to some people, as if everyone's not entitled to that? If I had the choice, if I had the money, I would be doing everything I could with it. That's why I don't like people that hoard wealth, because a lot of people do, and it's like, there shouldn't be billionaires, gazillionaires, when there's people out there starving. I'm seeing this to a satire once again. I don't want this to get misconstrued. I'm seeing this as kind of like a white savior complex. Those people that act like because they had it so well, or they think they have some kind of privilege, or that certain things just didn't exist, but they did. Just because they didn't experience it. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that person that's ignorant to what they were given. Also seeing the Chariot as trying to maneuver your way through some type of trauma. Seeing this too as like coddling a child, or maybe nursing, breastfeeding. It's a really weird way to put it, but I was also getting this Harry Potter like vibe of like a cauldron. You know those memes where it's like 10% humor, or a little bit of good looks, or this trait, and mix it all together and you have me. It's like getting as well, you don't know where you got certain traits from. You don't know where you got certain talents from. And that's all the more joy of knowing those things, because it's like when you do it, you feel proud. Like, I'm honoring my ancestors. I'm honoring this. But you have this big question mark in the back of your head. Also seeing this, Two of Swords has always been like the Diet Eight of Swords to me, or this is the Diet Two of Swords. To me, this is willful ignorance. And then to me, this is not being allowed to see, or not being allowed to see someone, like, protected by the law. Maybe someone lost custody. There it is again with that conceiving thing. It's like, why are bad people allowed to be mothers, fathers, parents? Doesn't make sense. Why is anyone suffering? I'm hearing once more, it's like if you want it, you can have it. It's not out of reach. It's not something that's dangling in your face. It's not something you need to earn by suffering. Seeing this as opposites attract, or two sides of the same coin. I just feel so guided to look at that. A gift being passed around. A child is a gift. Or we're all told we're a gift to this world, but it never really feels like it. Harry was the chosen one, but I'm sure at times it felt like this is ass. Put me back where I came from. What is this all about? I think too, like someone like a meeting an estranged parent, or just having some type of coming into some kind of information. Or being able to get everything they are owed. But not because there's this generational karma dangling in your face. You know what I mean? It's like a fear mongering that you need to sort of work through. I'm gonna get a Harry Potter card and a Bob Ross card. Wow. A lot to deconstruct here, but we have Fox. Phoenixes are born again from their ashes. It's like they can never die. When Harry saw one die or burn to ashes, he got concerned. He thought it was dead, and he thought someone was going to blame him for doing something to it. But he's like, fear not. That's what phoenixes naturally do. It's like we are all born and we die. It's a natural cycle of life. So that's kind of weird. It's like the death card, the epitome of the death card. I think too, like I'm hearing the word obliterate. Obliterate is something by like compounded or broken down with heat. It's like a million pieces, basically, being broken up, demolished. I think this is symbolic of how you need to treat the people, kind of like the people before you. Not the ones you want to honor. I'm talking about the ones that did wrong. It's like, oh, you have to pick up their pieces, deal with their karma when they're already dead or they're already gone. Does that make sense? We're born, it's the human experience, and then we die. Then we're born again. I'm also getting something here about reincarnation. Reincarnation, a reincarnated child. I'm getting something here about your past life, but not in a fear-mongering way. There's a way to navigate your past life and learn about that without making things worse. Does that make sense? If you're wondering where certain things are coming from, I'm getting this is from entirely an emotional standpoint. Like why you have certain thoughts, maybe. That's why. Whoa. We have Birdie Bots every flavor beans. I literally had these and got the bad ones, and it's horrible. Do not eat these. Anyway, there's that charades thing again. I literally said that. It's like we're all born into different circumstances. It's like we don't choose and we're not allowed to know. It's like I'm getting a bad taste in your mouth. That doesn't sit right with me. That's not all there is. So it's this big question mark, like either who are my parents, who am I destined to be, what's written out, what's my contract, because Bob Ross card. Something on the tip of my tongue I feel like I need to say. We have now then, let's wash the little brush. That's the fun part of this whole technique. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. That's what I'm saying with that. It's like a belligerate. It's kind of like a, oh my god. You know how that's a coping technique? I'm like picturing boxing. It's like pretend that's maybe your abuser, or pretend that's the past and just get rid of it. It doesn't define you. It's like a therapy session. Like you see that a lot. Where it's like, beat the pain away or transfer that energy somewhere else. Just beat the devil out of it. It doesn't define you anymore. Or like, burn that paper. Or when there's someone goes through a breakup and they burn their ex's things, they're like, this is symbolic of the end. It ends here. Oh, it ends in this generation. That's what that sounds like. It ends with this generation, but it's not my fault, and it's not my trauma to carry. Literally, something about the womb, something about feeding a child, holding a child, or coddling. Like I'm only going back and forth like this. It's like something will be transferred. You get to be the mother or parent you never had. And also something here about clarity, having clarity on your past, because something's very blurry. Either because of trauma, it's being blocked out, or it's like you never truly knew where you came from, or what the cause of something is. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. Not here about privilege. This card really pissed me off, because it's like I was getting white savior complex, being spoon-fed. I'm also getting like, why were some people given this life? It's not fair. It's not fair. So many people are privileged and they don't know it. I agree. A lot of people are sick in the head and think they have privilege from like a color standpoint, and that's not okay either. Ooh. I'm getting that once again, something about being righteousness, like getting the last laugh, as if like you're honoring the past, not being punished for it. It's like, this is for them. Well, that's the wrong card to point at. Oh, this is for them. Like, I don't need your help. Like, I don't need anyone to save. I'm getting that too. Like, I don't need you to save me. I don't need you to understand my problems. I got it. If I want it, I'm going to have it. I don't need to tell you my life story. We're all entitled to the same things. Okay, guys, that's the end of this art channeled message. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. And keep in mind, all of this is up to your interpretation as well. It's like, what do you see in my art? Like when you look at that or this or that, what do you see in these cards? How do you interpret them in your own way? Like, how can you apply this to your own life? What's your life story? Because once again, it's different for everyone. Keyword, different breed. Something about bread. Where you got your qualities, your features. Something will make sense. You know what also came to my mind? How when Harry, he became a father, even though he didn't really grow up or know his parents. Example, he also told his, briefly told his son about his experiences, about his life story. About how they were even named after two people that sacrificed for him, for Hogwarts, for everyone. So that's kind of, that feels relevant too. Just the idea of that. It's like it's coming full circle in a way. Okay guys, that's the end of this art channeled message. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I hope this reading made sense, especially when I was talking about this part. Really hope, like, it's not misconstrued, because... Anyways, bye.